Hello, con conventions and pony goers out there. Welcome to this edition of Discovery from Beyond Friendship on Air Day 2 of this convention that is basically trying to make friends in a deeper sense. If you are interested in in this convention at all, please join us on our Discord, which is in the description. We will definitely love to have you, and if you'd like to, try to learn about friendship, this is definitely friendship enabled. But for now, we are going to go ahead and start our friendship hello sections and our friendship panels. So if you guys want to stick around for that, we have already someone in the audience ready to talk. So, yeah, the basics of this convention is we have conversations about someone, and they get to talk whatever they want to talk about for the next 30 minutes, and they can talk about whatever's on their mind. And the goal of this is to get ourselves actually focusing on what people have to say and actually wanting to create that deeper connection. It is friendship on air, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the whole premise. So please welcome to the stage Apple Luda, who will be. I am going to go ahead and invite to speak now. Hello, Luda. This is Luda, the fastest brony. We talked to each other last week about racing. So, what do we have today?
Hello, guys. So, since we talked about my track and field career the last time, yeah, can you also have mentioned it or did you mention it? Because of talking about
It's
my
you can mention it. You can mention it again if you
oh
want.
oh oh
You can
yeah.
have a repeat performance if you want.
Yeah, I'm rather used to having complete schedule. Yeah, I think the last time things about talking about my OC and stuff were going through there at the beginning of last time, I think.
Oh
Right?
yeah, you kind of offered me about that. Your original
Yes.
character. Did you want to talk about your original character today?
Yeah, yes,
The entire
absolutely.
lore of Luda, the fastest brony. Okay, I'm interested. I'm invested. Let's go.
So, the origins of my OC Appalauda started in 2019 when the Formula One driver Niki Lauda has passed away at the age of 70.
Oof.
Yeah. When I heard the news about Niki Lauda's death, um, yeah, I was like, come on, why don't you create a pony named after him? Well, it's actually Appalauda's also named after Applejack because I saw similarities in their personalities, and then yeah. Uh,
So your OC is an apple.
if you want to see it like that, yeah, sort of. Um,
I mean, I would like that. I would like that piece of little bit of lore. Like one of the apples in the family just decided to become a race car driver. I can see that happening.
yeah, the thing is, my OC was never intended to be a part of the Apple family and to be completely independent of them.
Oh, I
Well,
apologize. Then continue. Continue.
well, actually, the name creation of my OC was actually a fusion of Applejack and Niki Lauda, and then Apple Lauda was created. Um, as you can notice on my profile picture, my OC wears a red cap because that's what Niki Lauda wore. I think also during his Formula One career, but let's just say for to simplify it, um, it was his basically it's not actually his cutie mark, but um you basically never saw Niki Lauda without a red cap in a time of when he was at the German television RTL for the Formula One races broadcast, etc. And anyways, just as Niki Lauda, Apple Lauda is a racing driver, and his favorite track is actually the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the world's
Really?
dangerous race track. Yep. And I do upload videos about Apple Lauda racing around the Nordschleife, trying to set the fastest time possible, and also he has fought many opponents, such as Spitfire, who almost beat Apple Lauda at his home turf, and since recently, Apple Lauda is no longer the record holder for the fastest lap around the Nordschleife.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that? Because I know about this story, but people out there might not know about the story. So why don't you start that story from the beginning and go from there? Because I'm
Yeah,
interested in hearing about that part.
yeah. It all started. I don't know when it all started, but let's say 2020, pretty much 2020. Um, that's when Apple Lauda drove cars like the Koenigsegg CCX or the Zonda R. But then, he had to look for new cars to challenge the Queen of the Nürburgring, Rainbow Dash. But if you guys want to know further, check out Tune Pony RC's channel, because that's where everything happened. Um, from Rainbow Dash point of view, of course. Um, the thing is, I always when Nürburgring video of his came online, I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat that time to show I'm the fastest. Don't mess with me. Um, yeah, and then when I came across Gran Turismo Sport, of course it was difficult at first to get to pace, but then when I started racing online, let's say EMEA server obliteration. Yes, please. I won races with a lead of let's say about 30 seconds, like all half a minute. The final race I've ever done was actually a 43-second win. I won with a lead of 43 seconds compared to second place, so I completely obliterated everyone. But that race was with few kisses to the wall. Um, yeah, I mean even the great Appellada does some silly mistakes sometimes. I mean, it can happen to every pony. Yeah, only because Appellada is also known as the Nürburgring God, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's always perfect.
Right. Oops.
Yeah, and then Appellada was not just a GT3 guy; he was also a GT4 guy. Um, during the Gran Turismo Sport era. Unfortunately, in January, I think this year, the servers went offline, and um, yeah, unfortunately,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so lots
yes,
of questions I have, but I guess I'll save them for later.
yeah.
First of all, you were part of RC, and I've heard of the RC. Why don't you tell us about the RC channel, since you're already mentioning him?
Um, yeah. The thing is, everything started like at the beginning of this decade. Um, yeah, when I was
This happened 10 years ago.
being yeah,
Excuse me.
pretty much. I'm Yeah, I don't really remember. So I think so really things came up like 2021 when everything started. I can't really remember, but there could be a few mistakes now. So
Okay.
um but still, I mean, yeah, I came like across him like I don't know, like a few years ago. When I saw that he is also doing Nürburgring videos, I did beat him quite a few times. But then the Mazda 787B video, when I cracked his lap time, he was completely upset with me because I was just destroying him all over again, and that in that moment was like, yes, I'm the absolute Nürburgring monster. And then last year after PonyCon Holland, when I met Nicole Oliver, I really wanted to do the Celestial Lap, and with that, I wanted to achieve my biggest achievement, which is a sub 628 Nordschleife lap time in a GT3 car at the race back. So, yeah, which I did achieve with a time of 6 minutes, 27 minutes, and 26 minutes, 27.942 minutes. That's
6 minutes and
rapid.
27 seconds, you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
Just shy of the 628 barrier. So yeah, it was close, but when I achieved this, that was like that's my final big achievement. I'm gonna retire from time attacking. I will, to be honest, I was also sick of driving the Nordschleife all the time because yeah, I mean it's like always the same circuit, always the same corners. I mean, I've perfected it over the years. There's nothing to improve anymore. And recently, I beat the Pulsar 919 Evo on Gran Turismo Sport. Um, yes, I mean, there's nothing I can get anymore. I have everything what I can have. So I
Oh, so
just
you
quit.
right. But then this
Yeah.
other guy came and beat your time before the servers came down. Tell us about that because I'm interested in that. Tell me the story about that.
Actually, June Pony RC is more a Forza guy. Well, he does upload Forza videos on his channel. Um, he does play also Gran Turismo. Don't get me wrong. So if I say anything wrong or stupid, I apologize. Um, but okay, you can't compare Forza with Gran Turismo. That's like it's a difference like day and night, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So you mean he broke your time, but not in the same game sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he had
Yeah, Forza has its own little unique thing.
yeah, true. If I somehow manage to get Forza Motorsport 8, well, I actually have it, but I can't play it on my laptop because my laptop is just a potato.
Hey, nothing
um,
wrong with a potato laptop. I still have a potato laptop, and look at me, I'm still doing stuff. Sorry,
yeah,
this is about you, not mine.
yeah, true. Um, yeah. Well, actually, then there's also a topic when I came across a silver stream, and yeah, I mean,
Silverstream.
yeah, I mean, it's like she nearly almost became immediately my favorite My Little Pony character after when I was still a Twilight fan, Applejack fan, Rainbow Dash fan. I still am. Don't get me wrong, but Silverstream is just another league, and my screen almost went off. Yeah, so then I decided, okay, come on, Silverstream becomes Apollo's girlfriend, and then yeah, I think I don't actually know how long it's been when I decided, okay, come on, they're now officially married, but I haven't written any fanfic about this so far, so I
You
need to.
should, man. You
That I
watch
know, I
the
know.
watch the previous video about making a good fan fiction. Start with bullet points. You know, something that you would like to happen in the story. Looks like you got a few bullet points already.
Yeah, true, but the thing is, writing fanfics is like a hobby for me, so I don't care if people like my story or not. I
Think of
mean,
it
it's
as a
just
really big Nurburgring, Appaloosa. Just write it out and then just keep writing until you improve the lap time.
the thing is, I really doubt that I will ever beat my 6:27 minute lap ever again. I have massive doubts because it needs the act of Celestia and God all together to accomplish this feat in a GT3 car with daily race setup. So basically, you drive a default setup balance of performance active and racing mediums, and then you just send it over the Notschleife. And to achieve such a quick lap time, um, you would really need to drive like an absolute monster, and that's what I'm capable of.
Mm.
Yeah, my OC is known for his radical driving style. I mean, he had the conventional driving style until he came across Ayrton Senna, and then he kind of copied his driving style. And yes, the
Look,
rest is history.
you have a lot of bullet points to write about. I mean, you would make a great fan fiction. Like you have all these different parts of lore that you got to add in, but you have to add them very tactfully. Like you have to explain who these kind of different creatures are, who Appaloosa is when he was born, how he got into racing, and then how he started to copy from other ponies, and then started to make his own little thing. Started being a tack driver, started going up the leaderboards, and then all of a sudden he's the king of the Green Hills.
Yeah, well,
You would make
I
a
know
great
what.
fan fiction.
Yeah, I know what you mean. With the Green Hill thing. Yeah, I know why you're censoring it because of swearing.
Yeah,
Um,
you won't see me swear, but you can swear, but you won't see me swear.
yeah, I know. The thing is, the actual name or the actual nickname of the Notschleife is actually the Green Hell.
Right.
Um,
I'm mispronouncing it on purpose.
yeah, true. Who knows if underage people are watching the stream? You
Nah,
know.
I believe in hell. I believe that there is a hell, and you know, there's
Hmm.
only one place that there is a hell, and that ain't it. So, call me a conservative or whatever, but I've just been raised when I was not told to don't say the word hell ever. You know
Yeah, unless you are Jackie Stewart.
who?
Jackie Stewart is a Formula One driver who actually nicknamed the Nordschleife Green Hell because the Nordschleife was super dangerous back then. Okay, today
Hmm.
it's like almost like any other racetrack, but still 22 not 22. Sorry, wrong layout, wrong time.
So it wasn't
20.8.
the wait. Tell me, okay. There's some lore implications that I'm not real of in real life. Tell me about the actual track. Who owns the track, and why is it given the nickname that it is? Because someone else given the
Oh,
nickname doesn't make it the nickname. So I'm kind of curious.
hang on.
Do you have
I
any?
I I need to Google it. Who the
Mm,
Nürburgring owns.
Googling
Um,
is okay. I probably should have done that the same way, but that would
the
make me a show
well,
off.
well, the Bing AI says the Nürburgring racetrack in Germany is currently owned by Russian billionaire Viktor Kara Kar Karitatin. Difficult name to pronounce.
I mean, you being German once, it would be.
Yeah. Um. And why the racetrack got nicknamed like that? It was just extremely dangerous back then. One crash would result basically in immediate death if you are super unlucky. I mean, you had nearly no barriers. No, you have no runoff areas. The slightest mistake would send you into trees, into the forest, and if you're lucky, someone saw you going off and pull you out of the forest.
Hmm. If you're lucky, and if you're
Yep.
not lucky, you get spin upside down. That was an event.
Yeah, or you just become a fatal victim of the
Right.
Nürburgring. I'm
Racing's
okay.
dangerous, especially in a very, very hilly racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was more deadlier, but then there were complaints about safety and such, and then 1976, the
And then the track
organizers
ain't
of the Formula
shorter.
One said,
And then the track went shorter.
mm, well, yes, but actually no. I mean, the Südschleife was abandoned and got replaced by the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, where I have been last year for the Formula Nürburgring event. It was quite cool.
Ugh. I still remember driving the Nürburgring when I had Forza. It's a fun track.
I could drive the track even eyes closed. I know every single corner. Um, I know when to turn in, but obviously I will not drive the Nordschleife blindfolded because the chance of crashing is just way too high.
Hmm.
I would never do such thing.
So, anything you would like to add about your OC? Um,
Actually, yeah, it's still about the silver silver stream thing.
yeah, tell us about Silverstream.
Yeah, she's just the cutest thing that exists in My Little Pony. So if anyone says Fluttershy is the cutest, they've never seen Silverstream before. It's just basically the same thing with people saying, "Oh, the sea is so beautiful." They should wait till they see
See the
the
mountain,
Alps.
the mountains. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Mexican mountains. Have you seen the Mexican mountains with the ocean?
not yet
That's a
actually.
combination. That's a combination.
Oh yeah, the Algarve region is also similar like that. There you have lakes and mountains all together. But anyways, let's get back to the
Sorry, I'm sorry.
subject. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, Apolloda has visited Mount Eris and Sequestria quite a lot before, and if there ever will be a war between Equestria and the Hippogriffs, my Apolloda would never fight the Hippogriffs. Never. Even if it means he dies. Sorry for my voice choking. That was not intended.
Now that seems like a very, very interesting fan fiction right there. All of a
Yeah,
sudden, Appalooda gets enlisted into the army, and it's against his greatest friends because their
uh,
greatest friends took their land. Ooh, oh my goodness! I'm already starting to get some ideas for some stories.
yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you might
No, no, I
say.
don't. I don't want to make it. You should make it. I'm just telling.
Oh, oh. The thing is, my brainstorm only lasts very short, like typical sprinter behavior.
Well, then use that to your advantage. Right? Use your sprinter knowledge and just write it down on a piece of paper. Like bullet points, and then you can do whatever, celebrate, and then come back to it whenever you have that creative spark again.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm not the most creative guy.
Who
That's
says
for
you're
sure.
not creative? You got the best times in the Nurburgring that I know of anyone else. It took some creative lines.
Yeah, the thing is, I was just basically
And you, you're
driving.
telling you're telling me about your story of your OC, and you already have some good points that I didn't even tell you to do. So you're already a creative. So don't tell me you're not creative.
Yeah, I know, but there's still something, I don't know what, but something really restricts me. Either
Mm.
it's myself or it's just an
Yeah,
outer power that just wants to restrict me. It's like my races, because I tend to lose quite a lot of races. I don't know if it's just me or if I'm really restricted,
nah, I
but
don't think you're
still.
restricted. I think it's just your own belief saying that it's your own fear. I think you should maybe try it. Try it one time.
I mean, trying never hurts,
Right.
true, but when I start to overthink stuff
You can't
and
make a worse fan fiction than all these little slut fics that are out there.
you know, what the funny thing is, when I did my theory test in terms of driving,
Mm-hmm.
um, I actually did overthink the answers, and then suddenly I think I picked another answer, and then
That's
the answer was just wrong, when I had it right.
hmm.
I fell victim to that just I don't know how many times, but I was so mad at myself.
That sounds like a story point too. Well,
Yeah,
anyway, thank you for joining us, Appaloosa, and telling us about your OC and your lap times. Thank you.
yeah, anytime, anytime.
All right, we're gonna have
Also,
some questions now. If anybody in the chat has any questions for Appaloosa or about his OC, this is the time to do so. If not, we will have a 5 minute break, or how many minutes do we have until the next section?
just a thing that I have to mention. In 10 days, there are at least two people in this world who have their birthday.
Who was it that took your lap time again?
It was Tune Pony RC.
Okay, would you like to share their stuff in the channel, maybe? Yeah,
Um,
we can like link them because, or you can link up
yeah,
yourself too. Do you have a YouTube channel that we could follow?
yes, it's Apple Lauda.
And the name is right there, Apple Lauda. If you want to follow him on YouTube, or do you have a Twitch? I'm not sure where you go.
I don't have a Twitch, but well, I do have a Twitch account, but I don't use it that often. I don't live stream my stuff.
Hmm.
So, but I'm primarily on YouTube. So,
Cool. Well, all right. That's all we have time for the day. Thank you guys so much. We will be back after this little intermission. Take a break, have some water, and we'll be right back with the next panel. Alrighty. Just about to get started for the next section. Making sure that there's no one here to, speak. Alright, I guess we'll start with our next section, which is going to be a panel. Hello, everybody in the Twitch world. Welcome back to another section of the Friendship on Air. This is going to be a panel, a factual panel. And this one is going to be called, Is It Just a Theory? And the topic of discussion is, sometimes when we try to draw conclusions about things, we try to predict things. We're trying to make... if you've ever seen the YouTube channel from Matthew Patrick, when he was making film theories or game theories or food theory, heaven forbid style theory, I don't know who got that permission, but whenever you have just and he's making a theory, it's basically predictions based on facts and evidence. So why do I say, is it just a theory, quote unquote, with the just part? Because when we humans try to, brain our way to something that it might be conclusion, we think about the facts that are concurrent with fiction, which is so silly. It's so silly when you have when you make factual when you try to make something factual that's fiction, I guess you can say. I lost my train of thought, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat some things. So today's title of this is going to be called, Is It Just a Theory? And my theory, well, actually, if you are to make a little bit of a theory, you have to make a prediction on what is basically the facts. But in game theory, you make factual theories on fiction, which seems a little bit silly. Yes, thank you. I didn't ask for your opinion, Google. So, yeah. So when you say that is just a theory of film theory, or film theory, or game theory, whatever, there was a lot of research behind it. And even though people say... I do the same thing too. I started my own little channel, Film Theory. Film Theory. It was kind of a runoff and kind of like a little bit of a theory retrospective on the franchise My Little Pony. And this entire con is basically on the premise of friendship is magic, but it doesn't have to go within My Little Pony standards. So I don't think it's just a theory. Because there's a lot of research to be had, and a lot of knowledge, and a lot of willpower to get that done. It all depends upon your interests, I guess you could say. My interests is, of course, My Little Pony, a little bit of Odd Squad. I like to collect some plush toys and Hot Wheels, but I don't have to have all of them together. It's all it's based upon what your interests are, and yeah, it's really hard to say what my interests are. For Matthew Patrick, I would say his main interest was Five Nights at Freddy's, and while that's a good franchise, if you don't know about the franchise, I'll tell you about it in a second. It's a good franchise, but you won't see me covering it because that's not my interest. My interest is My Little Pony. So even though when somebody else does the work and say that's just a theory, they had a lot of work and time to do that. I don't think it's just a theory for them. I think it's their really good interests. I know that's just another theory, but it's not just another theory because, again, it's a prediction. It's a prediction of what I think is factual based on the evidence that's presented. And it could be... So there's that to consider. So when you say that's just a theory, maybe just don't say it's just a theory. Maybe it's just a theory. It's my theory, Not everyone's theory is going to be the same. Like, for example, when I made the theory that Pinkie Pie's hair is not actually a pocket dimension, but rather it's objects in her hair that are making them curly in the first place. I think that was a very, normal, mainstream kind of a theory because it proves that, it's not just all whimsical and magical. Sometimes there are normal things happening. And and everybody says you can't predict Pinkie Pie, but here I am predicting Pinkie Pie in a fictional sense. Yeah, no, Pinkie Pie will be Pinkie Pie, I guess you could say. It's been something that's been going around for a bit. Well, actually, the same thing has been said for Marge Simpson's hair. If you don't know anything about Marge Simpson's, don't worry, neither do I. But the same story has been there too. Like Marge Simpson just has one of those British hats, kind of a hair. If you've ever seen one of those British hats that those royal guardsmen wear, that's basically her hair, and that's how she stores her hair. That's my theory, anyway. And again, using prediction to make a theory based on fictional evidence, on facts. It's really confusing. I know that's really confusing, but stay with me. So when you say, how do you make a theory like that? Like, you have to have a certain kind of interest, right? In order to find that out. Sans' Nest theory, you have to have played like Undertale and Earthbound at one point. So you must have played those at one point. Figuring out if who Golden Freddy is. You have to play Five Nights at Freddy's for that. Who on earth is Silly Billy? I haven't seen Who's the Man in the Suit. There's a lot of stories out there. A lot of great stories to be told, and sometimes people just like to make stories without telling about everything that's happening. They just give you like little bits of documents so that people can piece together the puzzle that is part of the bigger narrative. Even though these documents are fictionalized, we take that bits of fiction and try to piece it together in our little brains that have these little gray matters, and we tried to make a story like they wanted to write it and make our own story, It gives us creative ingenuity, critical thinking. When you're doing critical thinking and you're trying to think about what your next, film, we were talking about fiction stories earlier. Like, if you're gonna make a fan fiction, right? Use critical thinking. Like, what's gonna happen next and why will it happen? Use the what, when, where, why, and how. That's the basis of a story. But when you're missing some of those things, we can have like evidence to show what's actually happening. And so we try to use that and make some stories with it. And it's really fun. It's a really good way to actually storytell because it gives the other person a chance for involvement. Involvement! We don't have involvement with books. I mean, we do sometimes. We got The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Those had some involvement from J.R.R. Tolkien. But don't cringe over this. But the Lord of the Rings movie is not how it happened in the books. That is a representation, a prediction of what actually happened in the books. There are some things that were cut from the movie, for instance, and added to the movie. And you don't have to tell me about that. Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia. There were a few Chronicles of Narnia kind of episodes, but they leave out things. I think that because one, it's probably would make it too long for the movie, and two, they just try to visualize what it's supposed to look like, even though I have no idea what the author intended it to look like. Oh, okay, so maybe Narnia I was wrong because they might have done the thing with Narnia with the consent of the actual author, but nobody had to ask J.R.R. Tolkien because I think he died at that point. I don't know that for sure, but I think he already died from more. I think he already died before the director started making Lord of the Rings. So yes, I do say that the Lord of the Rings movies are just another piece of theoryware that we watch because it visualizes what actually might have happened. But it's their vision. Peter Jackson, that's his name. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson made a theory, and it made it into 3 movies called the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And now we have the extended version. By the way, Disney tried to do this too with Star Wars. Remember how that failed with the Acolyte? Oh my goodness. If you watch The Acolyte, they basically get themselves fertile by using the Force. I mean, I've never heard of that, but then what kind of Deus Force Machina is that? I mean, you tried to use... They were using prediction. Because I don't think anybody was watching Star Wars enough to actually, get the good storytelling. George Lucas was not much of a storyteller himself. He had 3 movies. Remember the prequels? He had the prequels were his trouble. He had lots of time to actually think about stuff. It dragged on and on. The first few movies dragged on. Like the prequels dragged on like a lot, but it gave you a chance to actually look into its universe because it was so unique. Like, it made you able to actually involve yourself in Star Wars. But now we think of Star Wars and like, oh, this has been here, and this is kind of... Why do I need to look at this? Because I already know that this was here. But back then, it was the biggest thing. It was the biggest thing to have a different kind of world. It was world building. But over time, when you have a world build... that world kind of degenerates over time, and then you see the world building again, and you're like, but I've been over this. Why do I need to see this again? So Disney tried to do this as well, and they tried to make some, they made some theories, they made The Acolyte, Mandalorian, that one's my favorite. And my realist favorite was Andor. Andor is the most realist Star Wars story in all of Star Wars stories because it features espionage and prison life and just the right amount of world building to character arcs. It's the right amount, and Disney should definitely keep up with that theory. And it's not just their theory. Everybody's with Star Wars because it's a good franchise, and then ever since George Lucas started Star Wars, everybody's been making fan fictions like Darth Jar Jar. It's very possible that Darth Jar Jar was a Sith at one point. Or, Darth Revan was the most powerful than Darth Vader, And then they have, like, tier lists, and then they make story, like, what if Anakin did not do the jump? And try to get the high ground. There have been a lot of stories because they've been based on what they have heard in canon and tried to piece together and make their own little theory about it and then make stories that way. And people make a lot of views. Like they make the stories because of their knowledge of what they do, and then they just make it. So when somebody says that it's just a theory, I don't think it is just a theory. It's an interest. It's a 100% focus on what they have come to have seen and what they believe should be a part of. Disney can do it. George Lucas can do it. Literally anyone who has the ability to tell a story has in their mind an ability to tell a story. Even though it might be cringe, it might be a bad story, it might be a good story. But a story in your head deserves to be told in order for it to be a good story or a bad story. And if you don't tell that story, well then that's automatically a bad story because that's how we developed as a human society. We told stories with each other. Because stories aren't there just to, have fun. Stories are there to actually teach lessons sometimes, or have an eye to actually develop what the current culture was back in the day. That's why we call it world building or character arcs, because it's a mood that we humans have once felt before, and that's how we emulate with these books. And so we try to put ourselves in it, and try to tell other stories with it, to reflect on our lives. So, I don't think that it is just a theory. It's a reflection on the self, a reflection on what might be and how you can do it better. Because if you can't do it better, then my goodness, why are we living? If you don't have any willpower to try to do better of yourself or by anyone, then where's the pull? Where's the ingenuity? Like I said earlier today, ingenuity is what made the human race advance so well. How do I develop sound better? How do I make moving pictures better? How do I analyze music in a digital sense? All these questions were answered for my benefit a long time ago. And now look, we have Cakewalk, which is free. We have Source Filmmaker, which is free. And we have FimFiction, a platform that is able to create our own little theories for free. Let's not take it for granted and say that it's just a theory. Let's make it into our reflection. Because, like it or not, when we try to analyze something that's pretty much fictional, that means we had a connection to it at one point. And that, my friend, is the real theory. Is that it's not just a theory. It's a way of life. This concludes the panel. Thanks for coming. I will be taking questions now. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If not, we will have a 10-minute break, and then we'll continue on. Nothing? Alright. Well, cool. Well, I will see you after the intermission is over. We will have our second half of the friendship panel. And after that, we will have lunch, which will be a longer intermission. So stay tuned. All right. Does anyone else want to talk before I get started? We have reached we have reached the first half. We have just finished the first half of the Friendship on Air panels. We finished two. We have two more to go. Then it'll be lunchtime. So who else wants to speak right now? Anybody else want to speak? Alright, I guess I'll be by myself again. Alright, cool. Hello, everybody. I'm Kenneth Apthorpe, producer of Friendship on Air. Thanks for coming in, and thank you for coming into our latest 2 panel session. This one is going to be called... This one's a little bit of a tough one for me because it exposes me for something that I am and I'm struggling with. And sometimes you just need to talk about it, so... Listener suggestion is advised during this portion of the con. Many of you don't know, and I try not to say this as much as I often, but whenever there's something wrong with the spirit, I tend to speak up. I try not to because I know how some of that may affect you. But I'm just going to go ahead and just do 100% honesty here, like Applejack. I'm a Christian. I do believe that I do believe that Jesus Christ died and rose again from the grave. I do believe he gave us his Torah. I basically believe in the Seventh-day Adventist stuff. But, it's something a little different. So, I guess I could tell you a little bit about my walk towards religion. And then, if you're interested, you can talk about it later. So, yes, this is going to be a panel about religion. So, my walk has been a weird one. And I still feel like I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, religious wise or physically wise. I'm still trying to figure that out, but that's the whole point of being an adult, trying to figure out how to be an adult the correct way. It's hard. Anyway, this is my story. It begins when I was like around 8, when I was still our family believed in the rod of correction, and when I say rod of correction, it actually just means a big brown leather belt. And whenever we did wrong, they just brought it out and then they slapped us with it on our behind. That was our rod of correction for us. We call them spankings, but people like to be spanked in other ways too. So we're gonna try to not say that. I did not enjoy those quote unquote spankings. They hurt me. I didn't want to be smacked in my behind. So I was trying to figure out what I was doing wrong, and I'm still trying to figure out why I'm not trying to do wrong. It has never stopped with me. I've always done wrong. I've had a sin nature. Basically, a sin nature being like, I'm just gonna do this something, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then they found out that that's a bad thing, and that they don't want to do it. It's like breaking the law, As when we were kids, us breaking the law was basically stealing something from a store, or I remember that one particularly well, or actually, yeah, like stealing something that's not ours, lying about it. And then crying and saying we're sorry. Yeah, and then our parents saying, no, you're just sorry you got caught. Which that changed me, I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to do bad. Sometimes I do bad things unintentionally. And I just do things because I don't know any better. I'm trying to know any better, and that's why I'm trying to, get myself introduced to all these people around me, because I'm trying to understand what I'm supposed to be, while not even knowing how to do it myself. I'm very insecure about this. Like, very, very insecure. So, anyway, I was 8 years old. I was on the bed. I was just about to get another. I was just about to get another spanking, right? And I was like, Dad, what do you why are you more better than I am? I think was the question. What makes you better than I was? Like, why can't I do the right thing when I want to? And then dad tells me about, well, it's because you have a sin nature. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is a sin nature, you know? I have never heard of these words before. These were like, it's like, it was like ponies telling me ponish or something. Like old kind of ponish. It's like, what kind of a language is this? And then he tells me about Jesus. And I do apologize if that's not your belief, but it was my belief at the time. I do believe in a Jesus now. He tells me about this Jesus, and he says, there's this one guy who try. You don't have. Okay. So first of all, I'm doing this out of order. He says, well, you don't have to be perfect. I'm not asking you to be perfect. And I was like, my head literally exploded, and I'm like, well, then why am I here on the bed getting a spanking? He then told me about this. You don't have to be perfect, because you know what? There was somebody else that already was, and he already died. I'm like, what? What? He was perfect, and someone killed him. And then he told me about the Jesus story. So, I mean, if you don't know this Jesus story, I'll tell you a short little stint of it. Anyway, once upon a time, there was this guy who was born out of a virgin, who was spiritually called to be part of a brand new movement to help Christians to gosh darn it, anyway. So I don't know the full story. Why do I not know this whole story? Have I been just by myself without the Bible for so many times? Oh my goodness. I do apologize. I'll just tell you what I know. Alright, in my current walk with him. So anyway, baby is born. He's a boy. And all these people who are waiting for him ever since it was told to him by scripts of old, like there was this prophecy, right? You would think this prophecy would be like fictional and everything, but this was an actual inside prophecy. There were a lot of prophecies back then, but this one actually came true. So everybody was waiting for that big star to show up, and now they're saying the star that's like, he's coming to save us now. He's saving us from the Romans. But in reality, he was not saving us from the Romans. He was saving us from ourselves. You see, we have this thing called sin nature, and whenever we have a sin nature, it just makes us wanting to do evil instead of doing the good things. And even if you don't believe in Jesus, like I do, it still is a good place for guidelines. Like, for example, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. You know, that's great wherever you go, because if you want to be treated like what you treat, then you wouldn't be such a Karen all the time, right? You wouldn't want to be treated like, I am so privileged to be here and you don't deserve to be here. Like, if you don't like to be called that, then maybe treat others like you don't want to be treated like that, and be nice. That is the entire commandments pushed into one sentence. Do unto others as you would want them to unto you. Now, I've been following this golden rule, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that, because there's a lot more verses in the Bible that I have to follow, because I want to show the Lord that I actually believe in Him. Because it says in the Bible, in Romans, believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and you shall be saved. Saved from what? Saved from ourselves. We want to be saved. Even if we don't go into eternal life, being a good person is still a good thing to do. And even if we do have heaven, we have everything to gain. But if we're wrong, we have nothing to lose. Because it wouldn't have mattered in the first place. It's a great thought. So if you have one of those kind of religions, maybe talk about it in the DMs in the question section later. But anyway, he grows up. He starts teaching the old scripts of the Torah. There was an old Torah back in the day how God brought them out of the land of Egypt and how they got Israel out of slavery and how the Lord created all of creation. He started doing all these kind of teachings and everybody marveled at him. Everybody was thinking that this guy has a different kind of mindset than he speaks. He's a based person, This guy's pretty based. But the Pharisees, they were the keepers of the Torah. Is like, this guy is doing it better than us. How do we get rid of him? Because we don't want him to be better than us. He's getting more popular, and he's given all this knowledge because he just knows it all of a sudden. That he's not even a Levite, I guess. He deserves. He should probably off. He should probably go.
He should probably off himself.
I mean, they were like that. And then they did. They pretty much gave him the worst sentence of death possible, of him dying on the cross later, and but they try to kill him, but then he rises up again from the grave for the third day, and everybody's happy that he's back. And I'm not sure what the story is about the Pharisees, what happened to them, and no one tells. But he came back with the disciples, and I don't know what happened to the other persons, but I imagine their faces when when somebody tells them, "Hey, remember that person we put in the grave 3 days ago? Yeah. He's alive." And he's like, "Oh crap." I can just imagine their faces. But he's in heaven now, and he taught us all the different things. And as a Christian, as a person who sees a person that has died for my sin, and all I have to do is to believe in him, is to believe and to follow his Torah. I believe. That's the first step. I've believed since I was 8 years old. I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ died and rose again on the third day. I believe he came to earth to save us from our sins. I will say that loud and clear. I don't get his laws though. I'm still having trouble with those. I will admit I do have struggles with that. For example, I was just reading the Sermon on the Mount like 2 weeks ago about divorce, and how if somebody gives you a certificate of divorce and they try to ask you back, that's an abomination and you shouldn't do it. There was some context. There were some verses in the Bible that actually means two different kind of things. So I thought this was one of those verses. And then this other verse comes in and says, "Love your enemies." The person who swindles you, the person who has a gun to your face, do good to them. The person who threatens you, do good to them. The person who will who will spam, who will dox you, do good to them. And then I'm like, Lord, I'm so confused. I thought if we didn't like each other and if they came back, that's an abomination. If my enemies are totally opposite of me, then there's a verse right there. Offer them peace. Offer them peace before you come into the city. And I'm like, what? That has another meaning too. Like, I am so confused on my walk that I don't know what to believe. I want to believe the great stuff. The Lord had better ideas than I did, and human nature will human nature, and I will still make mistakes sometimes. I do apologize. It's just part of my walk, of my understanding, and my ideals might not be other people's ideals. Heck, I might get it wrong. I might still get it wrong. But I'm trying. I really am. And I want to try for him because he is the one who saved me from myself. Besides, he created me, right? If he created me, I have the decency to actually live for him. So yeah, my recent knowledge base has changed a lot, and it probably will change a lot. I've been very radical. I've always wanted to be radical with Jesus, you know. I wanted to get real radical. I haven't gotten there yet. I want to do everything I possibly can to make him pleased. Everything I can. I have not been doing a good job of that. And I'm still working on it. Give me a chance. Just because I'm not perfect doesn't mean I have to be perfect. So that's my walk right now. I've been doing lots of bad things. I've been trying. I have associated divorce with banishment. You know, I thought that was an actual thing. You know, when somebody banishes you and asks you back, yeah, that's an abomination. Yeah, I thought that was what he meant by that. But then here's this verse a little bit later, and it says, "Love your enemies, and when you enter into the land, try to offer peace. And if they won't accept peace, go to war with them," or something like that. That's the code of conduct. So weird, and I don't get that. I want to offer enemies every chance, you know, not just one chance. I want to offer them every chance. But then I would be saying that I am better than the Lord? I am so confused. It would probably be around this time that I would ask the Lord what he would do in this situation. And we call it... I call it praying, but I basically say out loud what my current problems are. And then he would answer, probably in a different day. But if you have any kind of religious things, you know, why don't you share about it? Because unlike other people who don't want to hear about religious stuff, you know, sharing it might, you know, clear the ice a little bit. And my walk is totally different than your walk. As long as we come to that different understanding, you know, we both have mistakes. We all have mistakes. And just know that we're trying the best we can. No more doing the things that made us bad in the first place or banished in the first place. And if we do, we gotta learn from it. I came to the conclusion that I thought banishment meant actually being done away with. Because out of hatred, we were done away with. Or out of love. Was it out of love that we were banished, or was it out of hatred? It's hard to decide. Because I feel like if it was done out of love... No, that's probably adding something else to it either. I don't know. I'm still confused about my walk, but I'm trying. And I will continue to love the Lord my God until I die. Anyway, anybody have any questions about religion or, you know, Jesus or whatever? Any questions? Any questions? I don't think there's any questions. Well, I said what I needed to say. If you want to talk for your own little topic, you can definitely join us in the Discord. We are open. We have one last panel. We have room for one more. If you want to speak, this is the time for you to speak. But we will take a 10-minute break, and then after we're done, we'll come with the we'll be 3/4 done, and we'll do the last panel before the lunch break. All right. Take care, and we will be right back. topics of conversation. Alrighty. Hello, welcome to the last section of this portion of the Friendship on Air panels. This is the 4 of 4. There will be another 4 after lunch, but after that will be Horse Line Is It Anyway, and I'm very excited for that one. But if you're new here, welcome to Discovery from Beyond, Friendship on Air. Since nobody else wants to talk about panel stuff, I guess it falls upon me to talk about the next topic. And to be honest, I have no idea what it's going to be. I think I've exhausted my list of what I want to talk about. Finding friends is not all that's cut up to be, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. The Olympics have finished, and that's pretty neat. Uh-oh, we got lost. Okay. We got lost. Who's... Alright, anyway. Welcome to this other section of Friendship on Air. I am just going to wing it, I guess. I have not wung it in a long time. Can you go into something full head and expecting everything? Probably not. If we were to actually try to do that, it would be kind of chaotic like this, and it'd be kind of quiet. And I don't want to be quiet, so we're gonna try to fill the space as much as possible. I have no idea what I'm doing in this convention. My entire idea was to get friends to open up and for me to listen and ask questions and try to develop a real kind of relationship. And well, that was the idea. It was the idea. It still is the idea. So we can still have some of that. But it'll just have to be a different time because people are busy sometimes. I thought people would have an idea for actually doing this, but I don't know. Was this a good idea? I think this was a good idea because it gives people the chance to have fun and actually connect with each other and actually try to do something. I don't have any. Darn it! I don't want to have to ask ChatGPT for a conversation topic. Alright, I guess we're going into ChatGPT to find a top conversation topic because I have no idea what we're going to do. We're not going to watch paint dry for at least half an hour. That was something I don't want to have to deep dive on. Let's see. Where's my list? Where's the list? So, I'm still looking for it. I guess we could talk about not safe for work stuff. What makes something not safe for work? Yeah, I'm already cringing. Never mind. I'm already cringing. Never mind. I have no idea. You know what? We'll bypass. We'll bypass. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be sharing screen. But we're gonna be doing some music because I have no idea what else to do. I know this is a repeat performance of what we've actually been doing, but I want to make it more simple. So let's try to make it a little bit more simple. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm gonna go ahead, share my screen. Oh my goodness, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what to do, and I'm just wasting time. I was not expecting me to just sit here. I was not prepared for this. Looks like I have a very busy lunch ahead of me, so I can figure out what next topics I can share. Because I have an idea. I haven't the slightest idea. Oh man. Alright, so now we're gonna go into Discord and we're gonna do display capture like this. Hello, welcome to this workshop called music. And we're gonna be making some music, I guess. Because I want to show off what I can do in music. Alright, so last time, you remember, we did quite a few edits, but I actually want to do something that actually for a future, for a future song that I want to do for OST. You might have remember Arrival. I haven't shown that to you, but basically it's it's fun. It is basically fun. And right now we're going to be making the Arrival, but part 2. It's going to be, it's going to have two parts to it. So I'm excited for that. We're going to open up our projects. And I already told you about Cakewalk, so you don't need to know about that. Let's see. We need the Spitfire setup for 2024. And we're going to go ahead and launch it. I'm already uncomfortable, but I have to push on. I have to push forward. Sometimes things don't plan as what you plan, and sometimes you just gotta accept it as it comes. Has this ever happened to you? You plan for something, and then something happens that you don't even plan, but kind of planned, but didn't really plan. You had such high expectations, and then you're disappointed when it doesn't happen that way. Don't feel like that. Try to think of all the positives that people been. We have Appalooda who came in here. We got Jago Master who came in here. I'm really thankful for them for last week. And Appalooda came in again. So we got some repeat performers. And I actually enjoy those. I actually enjoy the people that come in here. I really do. But I want you guys to have a voice. But none of you want to speak. Because you want to have fun, and I'm trying to learn how to speak like a human being. A human being, I say. It's hard to be a human being. Alright, so I have a tune in my head. It goes something like this. Alright, so yes, it Alright, so yeah, it begins with a cello. So, yep. We're gonna go ahead, go to MIDI track. We're gonna go to piano roll, because that's how I do most of the stuff. Making sure that it's working, and it is nicely. It is working rather nicely. So let's make sure that the metronome is right. Doot, doot. Doot, 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 yeah, that's about right. Alright, what's 111? What's 110 divided by 2? 110 divided by 2 equals 55. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so yep, we're starting off with a chord. Do. What is a chord? It basically is a triad. So this is a C chord. It goes bum bum bum, and it goes in bum, and it sounds happy. But if you move one note, now it sounds sad. Do. So that's one thing a triad can do. We can make it sound happy or sad based on one note, and that is the characterization of this entire piece that I'm about to make. Here we go. Alright, so now here we're gonna go add the flutes. And we're gonna go ahead and add dynamics to it because dynamics are my velocities in this little variant. So we're gonna go ahead and add dynamics. I'm gonna bring that down. Alright, so this is a two-piece, so it's a ba-da-da. Instead of a ba-da, it's a ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. And it's the same pattern every time. Except for this last part. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-dum. Dum dum. Do 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 do. Do. Who's talking to me on Discord? Give me a second. I'm having self-aware issues. We're not gonna focus on that message at the moment, considering how this is. Loopy. Alright, so I'm back, sorry. This is totally unprofessional of me. I do apologize. So anyway, when you make a classical piece, John Williams actually has a pattern. It's long, short, short, long, but I have a short, short, long, short, short, long, which is a pattern. But his pattern is long, short, short, long. So we're gonna go ahead and bring these in. Alright, we're gonna start high. There we go. And then we have ours. Alright, so we're gonna add some strings there. And of course, you need to add some dynamics. All about the dynamics. Here's parameter, dynamics. Here we go. Maybe I don't like that note being there. There we go. Doo-doo. There we go. All right, so yeah, I have songs in my head. I have songs in my head like this. I can't talk. I've tried This is not my style, and I keep forcing something that I don't think is ever gonna happen. Why can't I just try? Why can't I just be myself without trying to make friends? Why do I even think that? Like, it's hard to make music and talk at the same time. Alright, so we're gonna put that there. We'll put this here. And we're gonna double click that. We don't need all that. Delete that. That there. Delete there. Delete that. Here. Delete that. Here. Delete that. Here. Delete this and that. I don't have any more topics to discuss. I don't want to repeat myself either. How you do something when you're socially awkward and you don't have anything to talk about? You make a convention. How you make that convention work? You make it so that friends like you can be socially awkward and try to talk to each other. Fails immediately because nobody wants to talk. Because nobody wants to come over to you. Not about you. You think you're so privileged? Well, now I'm just having a tough trying to keep going, but I have to keep going for myself. I have to keep trying. Alright, so now we have a basic waltz. And just like that, we have created a 48-second song. Alright, well, there you guys go. That is my little segment for this little section. We're going to have a lunch break now. It's going to take an hour. But during that hour, I'm going to be eating and probably doing a lot of chores. And I don't think I want to come back. Because I am discouraged. And I am depressed. And it happens, alright? So I want to keep trying for my sake. And try to make friends as much as possible. But, I shouldn't at all be at all privileged. And to think that I am privileged makes me a worse person, I think. So, I will see ya around 1 o'clock. That is lunch. Welcome back to the stage. I do apologize for that little piece of technical issues. Technical issues happen all the time, and I do appreciate for your patience, chat. Thank you so much for waiting. I do apologize that. So during the other section that when we were streaming on Twitch, the program for the recording software has crashed. And in fact, the entire PC crashed and had to restart it. And it was not fun to have to go through that. So thank you for waiting. We are now back to normality. And we will continue the panel as we have before. We are kind of 5 minutes late, so we will keep that in account with the next few things. And I do apologize. Anyway, this next panel is going to be about Vtubing. And if you don't know anything about Vtubers, you've come to the right place because Vtubing is a great thing to have. And I will show you what I mean. So, if you're going into the account of Vtubing, you are kind of wondering what Vtubing actually is. And I will tell you what Vtubing is, and I'll try to be quick about it. This section, I know we're 5 minutes out of here, but I keep that 5 minutes just in case any problems happen, and that's okay. This is expected. This is expected. Yeah, so let's go dive right into the world of VTubing. So what is VTubing? VTubing is virtual tubing. And basically, instead of having your real self out there, you do a digital self out there, whatever you might feel like be at that point. You can be a pony, you can be a furry, you can be whatever, you can be a skunk. All right, you can be. If you have a call to be a skunk VTuber, you go right ahead. But there are two types of tubers that you have to be aware of. There's the PNG tubers, the real tubers, and the VTubers. So today we're going to be talking about VTubers. PNG tubers are basically 2D models that are talking when you are talking. You're very familiar with that if you've been to VTubing is something entirely different. It's where you use a 3D model and try to make things your own that way. So let me introduce you into the world of VTubing. So the VTuber software that I use is called VC Face. It is a program where you can see your face, and it's a very low budget kind of program where if you run it, it can run on low systems like a laptop, and it will copy your face patterns and make you look the way you want to look. The only problem with this is that I already have my camera going at this point, so I would have to remove all the cameras from I have to remove all the cameras from my projects. There we go. And so now we have to press this little button, which is already in here. But in case you don't have anything, it's a VRM file. And if you have a VRM file, then VC Face can open it for you. All your VRM files are going to be either it can be V Avatar or VRM. That's the only two file names that this thing is compatible with. So if you have a VRM or a V Avatar, you can put them here. Alright, so what is a V Avatar? I will show you what a VRM is. So if you look it up, .vrm, in your browser, you can see that it is a thing that you can build with VRoid Studio, I believe. So if you type in .vrm, it will be right here, and let's look at our .vrm file. It is a GIF2 based for handling humanoid 3D avatar for virtual reality applications. And to convert, it's a Unity project. So basically, this is from a Unity project. Use the Uni VRM tool. This process ensures your 3D models and animation between the quality and integrity during the conversion. What about Blender? Blender to VRM? Got you covered. What about VRoid to VRM? Let's look it up. VRoid to VRM. When you create a character in VRoid Studios, click the Export button on the right side of Camera Exporter to generate a .vrm file that can be uploaded to VRoid Hub. Note, you can generate a VRM format by selecting a file save as. So there you go. So if in case you want to build a 3D model like this, you have to be skilled with Blender and Unity and maybe VRoid Studio. I only have VRoid Studio, so it's pretty simple to start with a VTuber on VRoid. So this is VC Face. Let me introduce you to VC Face. This is my VC Face. It's not showing at the moment. Give me a second. It's not showing for some reason. There we go. So this is my VC Face. If you look at it, it's really close, but if I hit the Alt key and scroll out, and there I am. See, this is my model. His name is Puzzle Piece. He has lore about it. His lore is on FanFiction if you want to get to know him. But this is Puzzle Piece. Say hi, Puzzle Piece. Hi. And see, I can move my head all around and see all the faces, I can move the sun a little bit so I can look like I'm a dark. The darkness is coming. The darkness is coming. I can just press Control for that. I can hit Shift and Alt, and then rotate it like this, and that way I am facing either the right or the left direction. Now, when you install this, it will actually lip sync it while you're playing something, but at the moment, it's not entirely accurate. It does do the smiles and it does do the frowns, but if you want it to be lip syncing, my computer doesn't do both at the moment, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I could figure it out, but I don't want this whole entire stream to be. I'm figuring out something. Give me a moment. I could do a factory reset though, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a factory reset. Might as well. I got nothing else to lose, and besides, it'll give me a chance to figure it out myself. So now we're going to open up the shortcut. And as you can see, it was built with Unity. So here we go. We have the tutorial, the transparency, and slot OBS and OBS. So here's the thing. You need to get the game captures, and you need the mode, specific capture window, the window, VC face, the window's match property, and the match title, otherwise define the window of the same executable. And you also need to allow transparency. That's important too. Capture cursor and use anti-cheat compatibility tools. Good. Alright, so now we just hit the transparency and do not capture cursor. Now all we have to do is hide UI by hitting the close button, this little button over here, which we will see in a moment. But all you have to do is hit the space bar, and then it will hide the X bar too. Now all you have to do is hit reset on your character in case it's all wacky like this. All you have to do is hit the R key, which resets your character wherever you want it to be. If you want your global reset position hotkey to be something else, you can change it to something else. Alright, so camera. Like I said, Alt to rotate around, and Alt to scroll up and down, and then Alt to, to go right or left. So the front button, the left button, Alt, is a rotated tool. The Alt and middle button is the pan tool. The control right tool is also the same thing. Alt plus scroll wheel up and down equals zoom. And then Alt plus right scan tool is a zoom. Now anyway, if you want help at any time, there is a help track, and there we go. So here is the default person to use. Always, it'll ask you for your camera first off, so I'm gonna say, excuse me, it's gonna be my HB camera, and my camera settings are gonna be 720, the best as it is, and I'm gonna set it as 24 frames per second. The tracking quality is high quality, and the microphone is my USB. So you can upload your Vroid Hub stuff right here, and your local avatars right here. Now it's going to ask you to add avatar, so you need to have your avatar ready. Fortunately for me, I do have my avatar ready. It's in Jigsaw. VC face. We're looking for 4. Kent VM. Now it's loading. Give it a second, and there it is. Now all I have to do is hit the start button, and now we're back. Now we are back, and it's lip syncing now. Now see, for this one, it's very smooth now because I have set it to actually to be, be part of the front and center of it, to be a demonstration. This is a demonstration of what it's supposed to look like. And even though it has no anti-aliasing at the moment, that is completely intentional because my computer thinks that any graphical change just freaking sucks. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. There's your... if you have a VRM already, that's how you import it. If you don't have one, may I suggest you using... may I suggest using Fiverr? Because Fiverr people will absolutely know how to turn your 3D model into a VRM file. And so let's go through it. Let's have some fun with it. Let's go to general settings. There is a couple of things you can do here. For one thing, you can actually change to have VSync enabled, but I have not. We're gonna cap that. We can enable virtual camera for this section. So we can turn that on, and we have that installed already. All you have to do is hit the install button over here. That should say install for you. And as soon as you're done with that, you can go into one of these sections. For example, video capture device, I believe. And hit OK. And you can switch it to VC face camera. And there you go. And now you can see everything that's going on around you. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. Now you can see now you can see myself in OBS. Now, it doesn't do the blacks. So the background image is going to always be black. But it's low latency, so it's okay. But at least you get to see it. Anyway, you can turn that off at any time, and then it'll turn itself off. And then we're going to remove it now. There we go. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, so you may notice that I'm not smiling, frowning, or doing all the automatic things. So here's how I set it up. I set it up so it will see me smiling and talking at the same time. But unfortunately, it doesn't look that way. So either you have to have one or the other. So here's what I would do. I would hit settings, expression settings, and then using one of these. But instead of using control, this is my neutral one. It'll say which controls you have. You have control F2, which makes you smile. Control F3, control shift F3, which makes you angry. I am angry. Nah. I have control F4, which makes me happy. Happy, happy, happy. E. And then we have sad, which is F5. And then surprise, which was my own custom one, which like, oh. Oh, whoa. And see, all you have to do is just mess around with it, wiggle a bit, and just say, hello, my name is Puzzle, please welcome to my channel. And just have fun with it, people like to see you other than a human sometimes, and so make them friendly by just appeasing to the needs and making a VTuber for your everyday need. So there you go, my little panel for My Little Ponies for my little VTubers. Any questions? Any questions? Oh, we have props here. We do have props. I want to show you the props. As soon as we exit, I want to bring in my glasses and then just, just scale it up. Now I'm going to put it over my face like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're having glasses now. It's easy. It's like that. All you have to do is drag and drop. All you have to do is drag and drop. That's as simple as that. And then all of a sudden you have glasses. Now you want a mustache? Sure. You just look at the camera, place the mustache wherever you want. And mamma mia, you got yourself a nice little mustache. Now you want a hat? Yeah, let's go for a hat. Let's scroll up to see if we can add a hat. Dapper as always. I'm gonna put that on my head. There you go. You look dapper as always. Why, thank you. I of course look dapper. Alright, if you want to remove that, just hit, I think you hit the delete button, and then delete, and yep. There you go. I'm just going to keep glasses because those are fun. Anyway, if you want any more objects, all you have to do is hit the add button, and then find a PNG. I would prefer a PNG over anything else because PNGs are actually transparent. Okay, cool. Any other questions? Do you guys have any questions about being a VTuber? Splendid! We are halfway there to horse line, is it? Anyways, stay tuned. Take a 10-minute break. Yeah, take a 10-minute break, and I will see you in the next one, alright? Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for our third out of four panel session for Discovery from Beyond, Friendship on Air. Welcome to the convention. I am your host, of course, Kenneth Thorpe, hosting these last few cons. And I was just about to make another topic, when out of nowhere this guy comes out of the woodwork and decides, hey, I have something to share, so let's give him something to share, shall we? Please welcome to the stage Thundershy? I think that's their name. I can't see it because I'm on streamer mode, so you're gonna have to apologize. I see the hand. There we go. I'm inviting you to speak. There you are.
Yes.
Well,
Hello, Ken.
hello. How are you doing today?
Good. I've been pretty much on all night trying to solve this live 2D face rig stuff. Trying to get Fluttershy like a avatar going, and yeah, I've tried to load it in the editor and it wouldn't load. So
Oh no.
I have an out of date model file.
Oh no. It's in .vrm file, right?
No, it's what you call it. It's, let me just double check on it. It's a Vtube JSON file.
Oh my goodness, it's a JSON. That's old.
It's a JSON. Yeah, it's
JSON.
old.
Yeah, JSONs for those kind of things are kind of unreliable because they require updates and stuff.
Yeah, it's using the old Live 2D thing.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Thundershy?
Yes, so I'm an AI music creator and an AI also an AI cover artist, and I've been doing AI since the very start when TalkNet was around, and yeah, I've been doing it for about 4 years.
All right, awesome. Well, why don't you start us with your journey towards AI then? Why don't you tell us all about it?
Well, first it started with the website 15.ai. You probably know about that.
Now, most of us don't even
did-
remember 15. So why don't you tell us about...
Yeah, so I basically started with 15.ai, just creating skits and like all these pony videos, just for a bit of laugh for all my audience on YouTube. And then I started to discover that there was TalkNet and started doing AI covers of music and stuff.
So 15 was... What is 15.ai? Could you give us a description of what that might be in your words?
Yeah. 15.ai was a website, a text-to-speech website where you could just, like, it has a whole bunch of characters on there. You could select, like, all the pony characters. There was Team Fortress 2 on there. You were able to, like, type up whatever you wanted, and you could just literally click generate, and it'll generate a speech of that preferred character on that website.
Yes. So that's what started the AI
yeah, that's
stuff
what started all the AI hype, pretty much.
Which is so interesting. So after 15 AI, what was the next step for you? Were you using what was the next step for you after using 15 AI? I know you were making like skits and stuff, but what were you doing?
Well, after that, pretty much I started to look for newer technologies. I've got into Stable Diffusion, which is an image AI generator where you can generate your own characters and pictures. But that's got a whole new controversial level of people saying that it's stealing art. But I could doubt that because you can generate images of your liking. So, and then after that, then I found advanced technology with voice making. So like Soviets came out, and then RVC, And then I started to really expand on my AI covers. So my AI covers started to become more clearer and more precise rather than the old topnet technology.
So you started making models yourself instead of letting others do it for you. You started making them yourself.
That's correct, yes. I started creating my own pony models, uploaded on AI Hub and all places like that.
All right, so
And
sorry.
weights.gg is another good website too.
I'm sorry, what?
Weights.gg is another good website where you can find all these models.
Oh yeah. I was. Most people have known this about myself as well. I used to make models as well. The last model I ever made was one of myself. It is on my Patreon. It is the only one of me because I do not want anyone else using my voice except for official channels, you know. You can use my voice for whatever, just make sure you tell everyone that it's actually used with an AI and, you know, stuff like that. Are you ever worried that you might be taking someone else's voice to make some other content that shouldn't be yours? Are you ever worried about that?
Well, in some cases, yes, because I've got like 2 copyright strikes for 2 of my songs that I had on my YouTube channel, and I had to really scale back on the soundtracks that were owned by people. Mostly, I get the copyright strikes on the soundtracks themselves, not for the voices.
Yeah.
So I don't have too much of a worry. I upload my AI covers on Audacity now, which is another YouTube, and it's amazing.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about Odyssey? What was your experiences in Odyssey and YouTube, and how is it affecting you at the moment?
Well, Odyssey, I'd say, is really a good website. It's like exactly like YouTube, but without the damning rules that YouTube has. So you can upload like pretty much anything, all the soundtracks you won't get copyright striked or copyright taken down. And if you're uploading covers, then it's okay. But if you're like copying music, then I'm guessing they might still take you down. But for covers, that can be a creative attribute which you can actually declare before uploading the video.
Very neat stuff. What was your So you basically have these ideas, but you don't know how to transfer the music, and so you have I have always wanted to hear. I would not like to live on the moon, sung by Luna. Oh my goodness, I did that already, and it hits different.
Oh yeah, that one that you made, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good song you made.
Um, I'm not talking about the one with This Night Luna. I know I made that one completely from scratch.
Ah, okay. Is this a different one? I must have not seen.
That was a different one. It's hidden now. You can't see it, but it was a good. I enjoy that one. I want. You know, sometimes we just have these notions like this should be sung by a certain character, and so we have AI to sing that to us now. But we're always afraid of AI of stealing content. So tell us about that. And what is your journey on that?
Well, I don't try to steal content. I just try to create as much as I can on my own. Like from now on my YouTube channel, mostly I'm not uploading AI covers on my YouTube channel anymore. What I'm doing is I'm creating music. Using Suno.ai. I'll try to add a little bit of difference to what original tracks are, and I try to search up if they sound the same or they sound different or they sound like another track that's already been published by another artist. I always try to guide Suno to try to make a unique song. So anything that I upload on my YouTube channel is unique.
I for those of you that don't know, Suno.ai is a music kind of software. It is what led me into my own journey into stop using AI because, well, when your father tells you to believe in your music making dreams and then later says, "Hey, look at this Suno. It does what you do but better and it does it sooner." For a business standpoint, I'm going to be using this. That changes you. Sorry for the quick story, but that's the TLDR of how I got my own journey into using AI is not bad, but make sure it doesn't steal something else. Like, okay, for example, we humans when we make art, we tend to trace over other people's art. That's how we learn how to draw. That's the whole thing with Stable Diffusion, and that's the whole legal battle there. And then AI is basically the same thing as taking other people's music, trying to complicate it and making it its own. That's how music is made. That's how artists is made now, and we don't even realize that's how we used to do it. And then we come up with our own style, but we don't even realize that our own style is basically someone else's style, but we made it into our own. Anyway, sorry about that little conversation topic. Continue, Thundershy. This is supposed to be your panel, not mine.
Okay. What else to talk about? I mean, that's pretty much like what I do. Like I'm doing AI images now, but at the moment I'm working on face rig. At the moment, I'm trying to get like a Fluttershy avatar going. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment.
So, yeah, what I have seen is the 2D thing for VRM, they use Unity or Blender. If you know anything about how to use any of these programs, you're at least ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I don't know a thing about Blender. I do not use Blender at all.
Oh my goodness, I was right there with you a year ago. Oh my goodness. A year ago, I didn't even know about Blender, but now I know how to make source filmmaker models on it. So that's pretty neat. Alright, can you still see me? Are we still on? I have to switch again. I can't. Back to streaming online, yay! Awesome. So yeah, we were just talking about Fluttershy and how we can fix that, and I've been telling you in your DMs, like, look, the best way I can think of for the best kind of quality is to just convert it from source filmmaker, because at the end of the day, you're still converting something at this point in juncture.
And hold on, I've got something to show you on my screen. Is that okay if I share my screen?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yep. So I'm sharing it. Okay, and this is on my face rig. I was only able to get this Scootaloo one working.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess other people might not say it's fine, but yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it looks like you got it working pretty well.
Yep. Yep. But it's Scootaloo. I wanted to do Fluttershy, so that's the only one I got working.
Very nice. Yeah, I wanted to do Scootaloo too, and I was kind of like, oh, look what I found, Twitch twat, look what I found, and they're like, dude, the person who made that is actually racist, and I'm like, what the heck?
Wait, yeah, the dude that made that Scootaloo model. Let me just pull him up because I still have him up. It's actually an Australian, just like me. Party Pie VT made it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, he's Australian. How do you know he's Australian?
Because I literally went on their Steam profile and it says Australia on there.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I am glad you found an Australian in your chat.
Yeah, I mean they're the one who made that Scootaloo model that I just showed you. So...
Right, yeah. I didn't even know they were Australian because don't go on their streams because they do weird stuff on there. Like
Really?
I wouldn't put that on Twitch what they do.
Wait, Party Pie VT.
Has a Twitch. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest going to their channel.
Oh, right.
Hey, Party VT, if you want some friendship, we'll glad to give you some.
I mean, by the looks of things, they're still a brony, so...
Right. But it's a brony who doesn't like certain kinds of people and actively hates on them on different people.
How do you know this? Like where's this story come from?
The story comes from the actual people from Twitch Trot. And you're gonna have to ask them because I'm not gonna snitch. I'm just giving you the
Okay.
I'm just giving you the TLDR version of it.
Okay. But yeah, that's a little odd that they're Aussie and like you're saying this.
Yeah, I mean I did the research myself because I like to do my research and stuff.
Party Pie VT. Let me have a little Google search arena and see what it's all about. Cause like, okay, they're on Twitter. Yeah, they got a Twitch. You are right. They're on DeviantArt too. But to be honest, this person might be my only chance in getting the Fluttershy thing working.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. For free, yeah, right. You're gonna have to. I guess you're gonna have to chummy up in more ways. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Prepare yourself, I guess.
But by the way, I'm planning, like when I do my VTubing stuff, I'm planning to do just gameplay.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. Tell us about what the whole point of this VTubing thing is, because it's not just AI.
Yeah. It's not just for AI. It's just like for gaming, like because I like to play Fortnite and all that. So I just want to have Fluttershy just playing with the AI voice, obviously.
If I want to
playing Fortnite.
If I want Thorax to play Fortnite, I just use his voice. Hi, I'm Thorax. This is my first time playing Fortnite. Please don't shoot me. I got shot.
Yeah, no, but I thought it'd be like super fun. I'm just doing it exclusively on my Facebook, so it's not like gonna go on my YouTube. Yeah.
So yeah, we have Thundershy who has a YouTube, a Facebook, and an Odyssey. Why can't you just be at one place? What makes you want to go places like that?
Well, the thing is, my channel's mostly targeted to AI music and stuff, but my Facebook is like for personal things, like with my friends. I just wanted to sort of do this with my friends. That's all. Yeah, it's just for fun.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you mentioned it, if I should stream with this, they'd probably say, yeah, go for it. I mean, especially if they're your friends or not.
Yeah. Because yeah, I wouldn't live stream it on my channel because that's taking away like what my targeted content demographic is on my channel, if you know what I mean by that.
For those who might not know, why don't you explain it in your own words?
Well, my content demographic is AI music, AI skits, and AI original music. But anything else, like gaming, is just not part of that.
Do you really think that's true? Can't you just create a playlist and just make a different kind of part of
No,
it?
because I want to keep my demographic pretty tight in those demographics.
Why do you think
If
that
that
is?
makes sense.
Why do you think that is?
Well, the thing is, people might complain that you know your content's inconsistent.
So
I just want to
it's your
avoid
content.
that.
You used to have content that goes off of other people's content. People probably complain about that all the time, but you can't do anything because of DMCA. Did anyone even notice when you stopped doing that?
To be honest, no one did.
Yeah.
But
Questions of
obviously,
you-
if anything changes in my channel, I usually do make community posts on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. And you have your own little Discord too. Would you like to share it with us before we continue with this little section?
No. Like my Discord is mainly for for collaborations, and that's if I do have collaborations, and mainly it's to keep track of information going on in the AI world.
So how can people contact you or, get in touch with you in case they are big fans of you?
They could just join my server, but that's another reason why my server's there, so they can contact me, have AI cover requests, and maybe contact me for other things. They can direct message me. It's whatever with that.
All right. There you go. Thundershy, everyone. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
All right, we will have questions from the crowd. If anyone has any questions now, you feel free to ask. But if nobody has any questions, we will have a 5-minute break, and we will talk about the last section of the Friendship on Air. Any questions? Do you think that AI will eventually take over human creativity?
What would AI like if it would take over human creativity? I wouldn't say it would. Like it wouldn't really, because you're creating something different, and also it kind of helps other people get creative, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense, but at the same time, our creativity is what feeds the machine, and the machine will take away that creativity and make it its own, thus taking away the creativity that was there in the first place. That's my answer to that question. I know it's not my question, but let's see. What do you... I'm not going to do that question. That might be a little bit posh. Any other questions in the chat? Anywhere at all? All right, thank you, Thundershy. This is him. He's given me the 2D models, and it looks like we can add it into a puppeteer. And well, if I had the talent, I would definitely get after it, but I probably don't. But if you have any talent if you guys have any talents and want to give this guy something, feel free to contact him, DM him, and, maybe offer him a little bit of friendship, because that's what this convention is all about. Sharing what they're doing and trying to understand them in a deeper sense. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will come the final section into the Friendship on Air friendship panels. Stay tuned.
I'll be probably heading out now because it's like 4 a.m. for me.
Okay, Thundershy, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, see ya.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this final portion of the Friendship on Air panel, the Friendship on Air panel, where we talk about what our different interests are and what our different kind of conversations might be. For your information, we just had a very fun time with Jago Master, and let me see if they want to end. Alright, I was just about to conversate about something else entirely, but if no one's gonna be here, then we will wait for them. We're kind of running late at the moment. Kind of worried that we might not start Horse Line Is It Anyway in about 30 minutes. Stay tuned for that, by the way. You should definitely keep track of that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming in and just wanting to be... here they are. Awesome. Let's go ahead and invite them to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Jago Master 2112.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you doing today? Please.
I'm so happy to be here and on the stage.
Cool. I hear myself through you. Can we? Can you? Do you? Is that? I mean, have you been listening this entire time? How has your day been, and what would you like to talk about today?
Well, I always like to talk about the games that I like to play.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's talk about what your games you like to play. Yeah, let's start with that. Tell me about one of your favorite games to play.
Well, one of my favorite games I like to play is I like to play like a bit of like strategy and slash puzzle games like Bejeweled 3.
Okay, Bejeweled 3 is a strategy game confirmed. I can agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love Bejeweled 3.
I've played Bejeweled 3 on my track phone. It was fun.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Bejeweled 3 to me it's always a game that's it's been like very close to my heart.
Why is that? Why do you think that's close to your heart? What makes you think that way?
It's just because like you can make you can make like different you can like just like match the gems to their color, and you can like every form of gems you get like a flame gem, and sometimes when I go across like a T or like an L, I get like a star gem.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one of the toughest gems to actually make is is the supernova gem.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to like match like 6 gems of the same color.
Oh yeah, I remember the sixth gem. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest. That's one of the hardest gems to match. But it's happened to me like a few times before. I mean, the hyper cubes are not that hard to make. You just gotta get like 5 in a row.
So what do you think came first, the Bejeweled or Candy Crush?
I'd say I think well, I think for me it would be Bejeweled.
Yeah. So basically, Candy Crush stole from Bejeweled.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah, yeah. I have played a bit of Candy Crush before. That game's pretty fun.
Hmm.
But to me, it's always gonna be Bejeweled.
Yeah, tell me about your experience about Bejeweled and what got you into it.
Um, well, the it wasn't Bejeweled that was my first puzzle game that I ever played.
Yeah.
Um, back when I had like an original Xbox a console,
Oh my goodness.
I had a game called Tetris Worlds.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's basically one of those games where you it's like the old like the old classic version of Tetris, but in Tetris Worlds you had to
You have to clear
you had
each.
to get
I,
yeah you pretty much had to clear each level with in a very specific world.
yeah. Okay. I remember. I remember something like that. They continue that on through Xbox 360.
Yeah, they did.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I also remember playing Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I remember playing the Lego variant of the Clone Wars. No.
Yeah.
Mmm. That was
Yeah,
fun for
there
me.
was yeah. So some of the tanks that you get to control, they're just awesome.
Oh, I guess I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then one right now I have an Xbox One, so I was able to play Star Wars Battlefront 2.
For the first time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was my first. Yeah, I remember the first time I played Star Wars
Okay,
Battlefront 2.
I'm interested because I had some mixed views on Battlefront 2. What was your views on Battlefront 2?
Well, in my opinion, Battlefront 2, it's definitely one of those it's definitely a good mix of a third person with a first person shooter.
Hmm.
I did like the first I did like the story first, like the whole campaign story
Okay,
before I started moving on to the multiplayer co-op missions.
that's based.
Yeah, yeah. So after I completed the campaign in Star Wars Battlefront 2, I was like, okay, okay. So now I fully understand how to switch from third person to first person. So I was able to do that do that really well.
Wait,
So when I
okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. So, the single player was third person,
um it's both third person and first person.
and multiplayer was just first person.
No, it's the same thing. It's
Okay.
both third person and first person.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought they switched tactics. Okay, go on.
No,
I'm
no, no,
paying
no.
attention.
Yeah. So I remember the first time I was doing a co-op mission, it was like, okay, so which one do I go first? Do I go with the Galactic Republic? Do I go with the rebels? Do I go with the Resistance? Or do I go on the dark side, like the Galactic the Galactic Empire, the Separatists, or the First Order? So I decided to go each one from the top and down to the bottom.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, so basically all these weapons that I have to unlock from each class, I just have to level them up to a very specific level.
You level the weapons up, or do you level the person up?
Um, Basically I just level up I level up the one that I want. There's assault, there's heavy, there's an
Okay.
officer,
Okay, so
and
different
then
kind of
there's
classes. Okay, got it.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of
So
like Team
basically, yeah.
Fortress.
So I'm basically just like a heavy main.
You like being the heavy?
Yeah, yeah,
Feels
pretty
good
much.
to be
I always like
heavy.
to Team Fortress 2 reference. Yeah, but I always like to provide the like a covering fire from my allies. Yeah, so pretty much so when you're doing a co-op mission, it's like a team of four going up against a whole squad of AI enemies.
Ooh,
And
okay.
you'll have like AI friendlies along with you as you know you're part of the squad.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
how does each one pan out? Do you win every time?
Um. Yeah. It's basically you're either attacking or you're defending.
Cool.
So if you're attacking, then you capture at least one command post
Ooh, okay.
before you can move on to the next stage.
Okay.
If
So
you're defending, then you have to do your best to stop the enemy from capturing your command post.
so basically Team Fortress 2 but Star Wars.
Yeah, it's basically like Team Fortress 2, but more Star
Oh my
Wars.
god.
Yeah, but good thing about but good thing about an officer, if you're playing as one, you could do like a what's that called? Just you can just always give give your soldier your allies the good word, and the more allies you have around you, then then pretty much the more shield they get. The more shield they get.
Ah.
Yeah. So
So you need
yeah. So I'm
worshippers.
the worshippers. Yeah, but there's more than just those four.
Right. What
You also have like enforcers. You have infiltrators,
Ah.
and you also get to be the heroes if you're on on the light side, and on the dark side you have the villains.
Yeah. Which one do you rather be?
I would rather go with the light side
Oh,
because
okay.
yeah, because I sometimes like to be like I don't know, I kind of like to be a Luke Skywalker.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Very fun to be
yeah,
Luke Skywalker.
but if I'm gonna be but if I'm gonna be on the dark side, I would rather be like like Darth Vader.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of. I bet you've had a lot of experience. How hard have you got to the AI so far?
Um. Well, the AIs. I don't know. I pretty much just like I don't know. There's like something about the AIs. It's just
It's
like I feel like
predictable.
yeah, kind of unpredictable.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there's something about the AI that makes it predictable, and so that makes it less fun. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, but sometimes it could be like unpredictable because it's just sometimes the AI can make it more fun.
Yeah, right, right, right. Aren't you glad we don't have any snipers in the Star Wars Battlefront? Or maybe we do. I'm not sure, but there's been a
I
bit of
don't
a.
know. There's mostly just like just like officers. It's mostly assault. There's some heavies there, but not much of the snipers.
Yeah.
No, those are pretty much the scouts.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite kind of map? What kind of maps is it brought up for us and the audience who don't know what Battlefront is like?
Um. Some of the maps that I really like is I kind of like Geonosis.
Ooh. Why do you think
Yeah.
Geonosis is your favorite?
I don't know. It's just it's something about the Geonosis that just makes me feel like I'm like back in the Clone Wars.
Hmm.
When I'm playing
Okay.
as the Galactic Republic.
Yes, you wanted to do the Battle of Geonosis all over again. That's your favorite.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to do like the Battle of
You
Geonosis
want
like
a
all
big
over again.
battle. You want a
Like yeah,
big.
like
You want to be part of a big battle. You want to be in the front lines.
yeah, yeah. I want to be on the front lines as a clone commando.
Hmm.
Yeah, just launching like a
Well,
anti armor grenades at like the separatists and AATs, and just destroy them in a couple of hits.
nice. You wanted to be a commando? I was under the assumption that a commando is a stealth unit.
Well, sometimes it could be a stealth unit, but I think the clone commando is probably like an enforcer.
Uh,
I
and
think
do you enforce? Do you enforce the win?
I always enforce the win, but sometimes when I'm playing as an infiltrator, but when I'm playing as an infiltrator, I always like to I always like to infiltrate in on the intelligence.
Hmm.
Yeah, so just to give me a little heads up of where what the enemy is gonna do next.
Cool.
Hmm.
Pretty cool. All right. Anything else you would like to share with us, B?
Well, there was this one time when I was in school, we had this little event called Mojo.
Hmm.
It's basically like something as people would do like improv downstairs in the auditorium. Um, they basically just have like a whole bunch of different events going on. Like there could be like a dancing in the dance room. There could be like basketball in the gym.
Oh, tell me about Mojo. Yeah, it sounds like friendship on the air, like what we're doing, but instead we're talking about what our interest is and trying to make deeper connections.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 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 there was something going on in the library called like a Call of Duty tournament going on.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many people did you beat? How many people did you beat?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many people I've beaten, but there was like a Call of Duty tournament going on in the library, so I went in, and you won't believe what Call of Duty game they were playing.
Black Ops 2?
Bingo.
How did I guess? How did I guess?
You
How-
must be one smart. You must be one smart pony.
I mean, kids back in the day were always playing that game. What? How did they get that? The school was. I'm sorry. I'm just taken aback. I'm just gonna step back and let you play out the rest of the story. I mean,
Well,
how would
Okay,
a
well-
school accept the mature reading?
well, it's, I think some of us that were over the age of like I don't know, like it was supposed to be like a rated M for mature, but I guess like most of us kids were most of us students were mature enough to play. I mean, they were mature enough to play Black Ops 2. I mean, my school was the only school that would actually allow us to play games in that specific room.
Sheesh. All right. Well, I'll
Yeah.
continue.
So
So how many
yeah.
people did you eat?
um. I don't remember how many people I've beaten, but I remember I was trying my best, just to like try to get some wins, but unfortunately I didn't do too well. But sometimes, my English slash business teacher actually actually gave me the win for of the whole tournament.
Really? Why?
I don't know. It's probably because I was it's probably because of my play style, or just just the way I was like maybe it's because like of the way I have my weapons set up. I don't know, but nevertheless,
Just declared
I'm
you the
happy I got
winner.
the win.
Just
Yeah,
declared you the winner.
they declared me the winner. So now everywhere I go, they always say, "Hey, aren't you the guy who won the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 tournament at Mojo in the library?" I was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
that's me." They say like, "You're that guy," and I'm like, "Yep,
Oh my
I'm that."
goodness, you're the guy. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden they want you to be their friend because you have something in common. You have something in common with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is why you guys in the Twitch channel should join my Discord channel. Selfless plug.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Because that's what Friendship on Air is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be sharing what you guys might be interested in and sharing deeper connections. Are they still around, by the way? Are they still around?
I have no idea. I think after I graduated, they all just went out and did their own thing.
Did you not get their Discords or not get their emails or what? Not.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But you know what? I did have some really great memories back then when I was in school.
Yeah, applause for Jago Master for a good story and applause for good friends. Let's go.
Hmm.
Good panel. Thank you so much, Jago Master. We will be taking questions from the crowd. If no one has any questions, we will pause for the next segment, which is going to be Horse Line Is It Anyway, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be really fun, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. I always love it. I always love watching Who's Nice in Anyway.
Yeah, I always love seeing that. Alright, so let's see who we got in the chat saying stuff. Would you say that beating everyone would have ruined a friendship?
I would say beating everyone wouldn't technically ruin a friendship, but as long as as long as you're being a
You're a
good
good
sport and
sport.
you're just having lots of fun, then that's the most important thing.
Oh yeah. So what's your Discord? And how can people get in touch with you? And how do you usually broadcast yourself?
Um, they can always add me on Discord, which is Jago the Dragon. They can let's see. They can follow me on Twitter.
Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. And that concludes this panel. Thank you so much, Jago Master. Thank you for
Thank you for
no, thank you for showing up, man. I was just about to talk about something else that people might think be cringy, but you know, ooh, that was great. I enjoyed that. I want to be playing Battlefront 2 in the near future, pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, guys, coming up next after this short intermission is going to be Horse Line Is It Anyway? So we are going to have a special guest on the chat. So if you guys like special guests, then stay tuned. And if you guys want to participate in Horse Line Is It Anyway, you know, stay tuned for that as well. We will take a short break, and when we return, we will be doing Horse Line.